frigid wind rustled softly against my skin as it flew through the night. The light emanating from the lamppost was the only thing illuminating the almost suffocating darkness. Frost and ice glinted softly in the light as heavy snow fell in slow strides. I could faintly make out the trees in the distance there, form as they swayed in the wind. As the snow stuck to every surface, coating everything in its pure white. I let out a long breath as it escaped into the atmosphere, clearly visible as it slowly withered away. I had been waiting for around 20 minutes at this point, and yet the bus hadn't arrived yet. If I stayed any longer in the snow, I surely would freeze to death. I reached into my back pocket and took out my phone. I turned on the device as it slowly sprung to life, shining defiantly in the night. I opened the last text I had received. It was from my friend Max. We had made plans to meet up after we parted ways. However, I still don't understand why they chose to do it in this weather. The bus is running late. I'll be there in a few. I typed the message and sent it. I'm not allowed to drive, so I was forced to take the bus. If this keeps up, I'll have to call a taxi or something. The already icy air around me seemed to grow even colder as it closed in around me. I heard a loud honk of the bus's horn. Looking up, I saw the bus had seemingly arrived in the time I was spaced out on my phone. The doors creaked open, pulling away the snow that had accumulated around it. The light shone brightly from the bus, contrasting the darkness from before. I approached a large vehicle, my steps creating a harsh crunch as I trudged through the snow. Entering the bus, it somehow felt so cold, like the snow had never really left me. The driver maintained his grace directly in front of him, not even facing me when speaking. I took a seat. It was definitely going to be a long way until I actually reached the spot, so I scrambled for my headphones and plugged them into my ears. As the music played softly, I watched the trees and terrain pass by me. The faint moonlight peeked through the trees in the distance as I began to feel my eyes closing. It was probably just my lack of sleep, or that it was just simply late. My eyelids met and I drifted off. When I awoke again, it was eerily quiet. The murmuring and whispers from before were replaced by this overwhelming silence. I looked around and everyone seemed to be completely still, all staring in the same direction, straight ahead. I even felt a notification on my phone. This is also when I noticed my music seemed to have been paused for a while now. Lifting up the phone to my eyes, I opened my messages and I saw a strange text from an unknown number. Look outside. That's a bit strange, but Max switches numbers a lot, so it's probably him pulling some sort of prank on me for not showing up on time. Good one, Max. I sent the text, and as I was about to put my phone back into my pocket, a new message was sent. Do you remember what you did? Okay, I know I'm late, but really there's no reason to go full cryptic. I'll be there soon, okay? Alright? After hitting send on that last message, I slid my phone back into my pocket once again and braced back in my chair. I absent-mindedly looked out the window to pass the time, expecting to see my reflection. My blood turned ice cold. In its place was a grotesque, mangled form. Its face was completely pale, absent of any real color at all. It had till I didn't, since severed in many areas like it had been in some sort of freak accident. The figure simply stared blankly at me, fully white eyes piercing into my soul. I froze up, completely unsure of what to do in response. I blinked and the figure was gone. My own reflection stared back at me instead. I could hear the clattering and muttering of the bus passengers once again as I looked for any trace of the thing that I just seen in the window. There truly was nothing there. I began to think that perhaps I should just get some more sleep once I got home. There was no better time to start than the present. My eyes felt heavy as I began to close them. That's when I suddenly jolted forward by a sudden shift. The bus had started to speed up at an alarming rate. The outside world began to distort and shift as the bus still continued on further, shaking violently in the process. The speed limit had long been passed, and I finally noticed something in front that we were rapidly approaching. A cliff. But the driver only kept speeding up. I looked around to the other passengers to check if I was the only one seeing this. As I turned around, that same mangled face was on every single passenger as they all stared at me. I immediately broke into a sprint, desperately running out of my seat. Then the bus stopped suddenly, driving onto the ground. Everything stopped. "Can I help you, sir?" a voice said. I looked up to see a well-dressed man leaning out his hand to me. The bus was going at its usual pace. The passengers' faces were all normal, and we were definitely not approaching any kind of cliff. Had I simply imagined all of that? I know what I saw. It's vivid. It's clear in my memory. Sorry, I just left. I heard her. I got up by myself and returned to my seat. I still couldn't shake off what I had seen. It was real. I knew it. I saw everything. That was real. It must be. A notification from my phone interrupted my thoughts. I picked it up. It was from the same unknown number. "Are you ready?" Before I could even type a response, I heard a slow, rhythmic tapping on the window next to me. I didn't turn around, but I knew exactly what I would see when I turned around to that window. It even began scratching at the glass, seemingly trying to break inside. I knew I couldn't avoid the inevitable, so I slowly turned around to it. That's when it went silent. Before I could fully turn around, I heard the glass shatter as bits and pieces flew right at me. I hardly had time to shield my face as my ears were pierced by the creature's gut-wrenching scream. I wasted no time in escaping. I ran, but all the passengers once again had that same mangled face plastered on them as they held me down, scratching at my flesh. I could feel my skin burning and blood trickling down my arm. I tried screaming for help, but no one listened. I flailed and struggled and gnashed, but I couldn't break free from the grasp. The creature finally stopped screaming. It carefully stepped inside from the window and walked right in front of me. Its long, gangly, disfigured limbs were on full display. It looked barely held together, struggled to move, like a broken puppet forced to perform. It looked at me intently, as if expecting something. The terrain outside began to shift into a place I knew all too well. "You know what happened to my family?" Its distorted voice creeped out of its mouth like poison. I had nothing to say. The weather's nice today. Why don't you take a look outside? I didn't have to look up to tell what it wanted to show me. I could see the destroyed vehicles outside in my peripherals. Look outside, John. The creature stepped towards me. Look at it. It grabbed my head and wrenched me up, forcing me to see it. It was a car that collided with another, one that I found a four would drive in, and one that I would drive in. The creature's fingernails dug into my skull as it slammed my head into the window. I tried closing my eyes, but it forced them open. Do you believe you can live peacefully? I didn't answer. Do you believe you can be happy? Do you think you are allowed to stay free? I remained quiet as his grip on me tightened. I don't sleep, John. I don't starve, John. I don't rest, John. But don't worry. I'll always be with you, John. Wherever you go, I'll be with you.